Hey everybody, it's West Tennessee K9. I just want to come to you real quick. Waiting to pick Emily up from school and want to do a really quick video. I do a lot of writing. I really like to write, but I need to get better at doing videos, doing more videos. You can do so much more content, get a lot more information out there without taking, half hour, hour and a half to really write something that's good. So what I wanted to talk to you, this little clip was about dopamine. Dopamine is such an important part of dog training. It's something that we all struggle with in our personal lives. Dopamine is that drive that makes you go crazy, checking social media for the next thing, the next post, something that might be about you. That's the dopamine, dopamine drive, dopamine rush, however you want to call it. So with dogs and reward, what we are working on and working with is the anticipation of getting that thing. So we are working on the dopamine drive, the in-between. So when we're using food, for example, the food is the end result, but it's not technically what the dog is working for. The dog is working toward it. The dog is working for the anticipation of that food. So the higher the value reward, like with my dog Layla, she'll take a toy and a ball over food any day. Her drive for that, the dopamine rush, the anticipation of having that thing is so high. I use toys with her. But go back to food, for instance. It's not actually the dog getting the food in its mouth and chewing it and swallowing it, the satisfaction of eating that thing. It's the anticipation of getting it. So when dogs come in and they're food driven, we rapid feed rewards. We use their food or high value, something like chicken or something like that, some beef lung, something we can, reward. Start working on that focus. Yes, good, okay. Give them that reward quickly as they get acclimated to the environment. It gets their focus on us really fast. But really quickly what we do is start to eliminate the reward, not eliminate, but limit the reward. So we will offer the reward and we'll hold it in our hands where the dog is having to drive for it, having to push into our hands. And what that does is actually builds the dog's want to have that thing even more. So it increases the dog's drive, it increases the dog's working time, it increases the dog's focus on us, having that anticipation of the reward, and we can prolong the dog's focus on us. So where you're rapid feeding, when you're out of food, hey, the dog's done. Working on that anticipation of reward, that dopamine drive, you have a much extended working time. An example of that in real life is dogs that dig. When dogs dig, they're looking for things. They smell something that somebody left in the yard when they were building your house. It's buried, or a root, or a mole, whatever it is, they want to find it. Or they just are diggers. And they dig and dig and dig and dig. But you notice when they find something, they may play with it, maybe the reward for a second, but they go right back to the same place or another place and start digging again. It's not the actual reward they're after, it's the anticipation of getting that thing. So keep that in mind when you're training. If you can use rewards and the anticipation, the in-between for dogs to get from one place to another and extend that working time, it'll benefit you a lot. Dopamine drive is one of the huge keys that I use in our program that I get from the working dog background that isn't really used to its fullest potential in pet dog training. So use that and you will have a lot more success faster. Thanks for following along. Again, it's Terry, West Tennessee K9, and I sure hope this helped.